Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Steve from I Lift Plants, and I am standing right beside a table full of my pothos. I have about maybe 6 or 7 species here, and each one of them has a very, very special place in my heart. I'm going to tell you, of course, I can't say this like really in front of them, but which ones I really, really, really like, which ones I'm in love with, but I love them just the same. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm going to give you some care tips, just how easy it is to really take care of these plants. I kind of look at them as like the perfect beginner plant. I'll tell you, if they're cultivars, if you can find them in the wild, if you can find them naturally in the areas that they're from, and just exactly what it takes to keep them alive. It's really not that much. It's just your basic plant care tips. Some of them do require a little bit more humidity in order to thrive, but I'll let you know, which one of them needs that. Some of them require different kind of light, whether it be, medium to bright indirect light, or, some who can withstand even lower light conditions. But I'm here to help you out with this because if some of you are beginners, if some of you are inspired to sort of like start collecting plants, this is a good start. All right. So grab something to eat, grab a bite, grab a glass of wine because that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna sit down with you and talk about these beauties that I have right here on this table. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I need to raise my viewership, and you guys have been so influential in helping me do that thus far. So please, please, please keep it going, like and subscribe, and actually tell your friends about it. All right? Thank you. So what's going on, everybody? This is my golden pothos. This is Locks here. His name is Locks, and I mean, come on. He has the locks. He's trailing, and I'm trying to get him to climb. Like I said, most pothos are trailers and climbers. You're gonna find them in the wild, either climbing up a tree or the side of a building, or you're going to see them trailing on the ground. Okay, they are very, very, very fast growers. This golden pothos is very, very fast. Um, Typical for this post. First of all, this pothos, this is a natural pothos. You're gonna find this one in the wild. Okay, this is the original Dundada right here, and what I love about this plant is that it has slight yellow variegation. All right, so if you look at the leaves, depending on how much light you give it, like it does require some bright indirect light. If you want to see the yellow variegation in the leaves, but again, it can tolerate lower light conditions, but I want to see that. Okay, that's just me. I have a Marble Queen that's sort of reverting back to a Jade, and we'll talk about that. But I'm trying to bring out the yellow in this guy. Again, with watering for most pothos, including this one, what I like to do is I have a moisture meter. I mean, it works and it doesn't work, right? I mean, come on, we all know that is sometimes not as dependable as taking your finger, sticking it down into the soil about 2 to 3 inches, and seeing if it's dry. Okay. I like to water this plant when it's about 2 to 3 inches dry from the top soil, and then I'll give it a nice soak in. It's just really, really clean looking. I mean, I just have not had any sort of issues with this one. Just a little bit of its history. I think it was you can find these like in French Polynesia, and and even in South America now. And they have been cultivated, so they are used as a base to create certain breeds and varieties of other pothos. But this is an all-time favorite. This is the plant that everybody needs to have in their collection, especially if you're starting out. This should be your first plant because it's very very hard to kill. You can do that, but it's very hard to do that. Don't do that. All right. And just water it, sparingly. Again, wait until the soil gets dry, about 2 to 3 inches deep. Give it a nice little soak in, and it's gonna reward you. It's very forgiving. So, I travel a lot. And for some reason, my plants know when I'm not here because I cannot water them for a week and be here and they're just fine. I can go away and not water them for a week and they look like a sad bunch of saps. But they do bounce back. And the other good thing about this one is that you can easily propagate it. I mean, you can pretty much cut it anywhere along the stem, right below the node, and stick it in some water, and you will start to get roots within 2 to 3 weeks. So it's easy. You can get plenty more of this plant, and yeah, I really love this plant. It's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, like I said, vigorous grower, trailing down, growing up. I'm letting him do his thing. This is Locks, my golden Pothos. So you just met Locks, right? This is my marble queen. This is Cleopatra. All right, she is a beauty, and to be honest, this Pothos is the reason why I'm into Pothos now. Um, you know, when I lived at my old place, I had only north facing windows, so I wasn't really getting any light. And now that I live here, I have an east facing window. That's a game changer. When I lived in the old building, she was getting nothing but like very little light. So of course, as you can see here, she was reverting back, right? Getting these dark green leaves, kind of looking like a jade, kind of looking like a golden pothos. And as a matter of fact, this marble queen is a natural mutation of the golden pothos. All right, but look, now that I'm giving her more, I mean, come on, can you see this leaf right here? Amazing! Look at this half moon leaf here. I mean, she has, like Michelle Obama said, you did it. You did it again, girl. Constantly raising the bar. That's my line. I don't know what it is about that, but that always gets a kick out of it. Every time I see my plants kind of like killing it, I always think of Michelle Obama giving Beyonce credit. But I mean, like, look at this. I mean, this is even bordering along. I think there's one called Snow White, right? I mean, so white, and the variegation is amazing. Hope you can see that. Um, but again, I love this one right here. All right, this is Cleopatra. She's not as fast as a grower as my golden pothos. I'm trying to have her grow up a totem because I want those big leaves. As the pothos species grows up, when they climb, the leaves get huge. Okay, and I would rather sit Cleopatra on the floor on a totem so that I can see her magnificence. Again, this one requires a lot of light only because we're trying to maintain the variegation in the leaf. So she goes closest to my east facing window. In terms of watering her, kind of same rules apply. Stick my finger down 1 to 2 inches, see if she's dry. If she is, give her a nice little soak in. The other thing with the Marble Queen is that they do require a little bit more humidity. All right. So, with all houseplants, and the reason why they're houseplants is because they can tolerate normal house humidity, but I kind of like to spoil my plants. I mean, these dudes and dudettes get distilled water. You know, I actually go to the grocery store to buy them water they will never get from the tap. I learned that lesson the hard way. But they also have I have humidifiers around the around my place, um, and they're closer to the plants that really need it, but it definitely filters through the entire space. All right, and as you can see, she is definitely benefiting from the higher humidity. I mean, her growth pattern over the last 6 to 7 months has been amazing. And again, this is a natural mutation of the golden pothos, and so basically from the same area, French Polynesian islands, South America. And yeah, this she's magnificent. This is Cleopatra. Love her, love her, love her. So this is my Silver Streak Pothos. This is Spinderella. Spinderella cut it up one time. This is again, I think this was one of my first Pothos, right? I think I got this after the Marble Queen. And I was surprised that this was a Pothos. I was like, this doesn't look like your normal Pothos, right? But it is. This Pothos is native of like Australia and South Asia. All right. And I mean, it's different. It's different looking than some of the Epiprinium aureums that you see, right? It kind of gives you Panatum vibes, right? But this is definitely a Pothos. And this thing has given me issues, right? And I remember I was like, well, what the hell am I doing wrong with it? Because I kept getting brown tips, right? I would give it water, a little bit more water than I normally would because I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's dry, maybe it needs water. Nope, that wasn't it. I cut the water back and still got the brown tips. I'm like, okay, well, what the F am I doing wrong? Like, what's wrong with you, Spen? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know your name ain't in the group, but you still the heart and soul of Salt and Pepper now. You know what I mean? Like, you the DJ. Nah, but seriously, I digress. I couldn't find what the issue was. First of all, what I discovered was the lighting was off. Okay, this is a plant that needs to have bright, indirect sunlight. Now, I still get brown tips, but not as much as before. This plant is also very prone to root rot when you overwater it. Trust me, I know it's happened to me. I had to, trim down some of the roots because they were black and they died off. So um, I had to really sort of triage this one to figure out exactly where it needed to be and who it needed to be around. There's another plant that requires a little bit more above average humidity, right? So, in my home, I like to keep the humidity between 60 to 70%. And that's very important, especially here in the summertime when I have my AC going damn near nonstop in Texas. But I have to keep the humidity levels up because I found that that helps prevent the browning of the tips of the leaves. Um, I want to say that this is probably my fastest growing pothos, even more so than the golden pothos. When I got this was a small plant. I've had this plant for a little bit over a year. I want to say about a year and a half. And it was a baby. It was so cute when I got it. And now Spin is full. Okay, her and my golden pothos locks, I call them double trouble because they are my most vigorous growing, fastest growing plants that I have in this collection. I got Spin growing up a trellis, but she got her own way of doing things too. As you can see, she's all over the place, so I'm gonna let her be. All right, I'm gonna just let her do her thing. But I do want her to grow up the trellis as well. She has amazing. I keep saying amazing. She has beautiful and stunning. I got that from you, Grofo. Stunning silver streaks in her leaves. I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitated to getting her in the first place. She's a gorgeous plant. Again, she doesn't same rules apply. I kind of find that I water her a little bit more than the others, but that's because she lets me know when she needs to be watered. She sags low. And I'm like, all right, girl, I guess you need a drink. And so I give her a drink. But again, this Pothos here, fast grower. Every time I turn around, she has new leaves shooting up in every direction. And I'm really proud of her. You know, she made a name for herself all on her own, just like Spinderella did. So that's why she's deserving of the name. And ladies and gentlemen, this is my Silver Streak Pothos, Spinderella. So this is mint julep. If you can insert heart eyes here, please insert heart eyes here. I'm so in love with this plant. I'm so in love with this one. This is probably one of my favorite plants that I have in my collection. This is a rare pothos. You're not going to find this all the time. I mean, you can search for it online. Yeah, sure, it's going to be there. But if you go to a big box store or a nursery, I mean, every time I go, do you have a Manjula pothos? Oh no, we don't have them yet. You know, maybe check in a couple of weeks. You check in a couple of weeks, and they still don't have them. My buddy, uh, Grofos, was able to, when he saw this and he knew how much I love pothos, Manjula pothos, he got it and held it for me for a little bit. And I finally picked it up a couple of months ago, and I was like, wow, she's even more beautiful in person. But this is mint julep, okay? My Manjula pothos. And I love her. So let me give you a little bit of information about her. She's a slow grower, right? I want to say she damn near looks exactly like she did when I got her. No. She grew a little bit, but not like golden, the golden pothos, not like the marble queen, definitely not like the silver streak. Um, but what saves her for me is the variegation of the leaf. Okay, check how beautiful this is. Okay, I mean, this is a cultivar, so you're not gonna find this in the wild. Okay, this is a special breed, a plant that was bred to look like this. Okay, and that's part of the reason why you don't find these a lot when you go out to um, nurseries and big box stores. The thing with her, and I don't even know if it's a male or female because it is named mint julep, is after one of my favorite drinks. um, but needs humidity, okay? Needs a little bit of extra humidity to flourish. Okay, can stand regular humidity. You know, will do just fine. You know, you might find some browning on the leaves, especially on the white part of the leaves. In terms of watering, same rules apply. I kind of follow the rule across the board. I can't water on a watering schedule. Everybody doesn't follow the same watering schedule. So between the moisture meter and between my fingertip, that's when I know whether or not this plant needs to be watered. The soil for most pothos, I mean, they can stay slightly moist, but you don't want to oversaturate it. You don't want to overwater it, and you definitely don't want to underwater it. You know, some of them can stay more drier than others. This is not the one. Again, this plant, in terms of lighting, bright and direct light. Um, in terms of where this is compared to my other pothos, this pothos is the furthest away from the window. And the only reason why I keep her the furthest away is because of that direct light that she could possibly get in the morning hours that can scorch the whiteness of the leaf. I'm not trying to have her blemished, you know, and sometimes it's normal, right? Like sometimes, you're not going to ever have a plant that doesn't have a brown spot on it. Um, but I do try. I really do. I want them to stay spotless. But again, this is Manjula, my Manjula Pothos. She's just a beauty. She's a beauty. So you guys having fun here? I hope you guys are. And I hope you guys are sticking around. Remember, like and subscribe. Thank you for listening to me as I tell you about my pothos plants and fill you in on some care tips. This is my pearls and jade. This is Aunt Pearl from 227. All right. She's nosy. She's always sticking her head out the window to see what's going on. You can see she got a little side, she's shaved on one side and long hair on the other. Remember when that style was in? That's exactly who she is. Um, but this is Pearl. This is Aunt Pearl. And she's still looking fly, right? This Pothos is a mutation of the Marble Queen, as a matter of fact. So the Marble Queen kind of turned into this. It is very well. The Pearls and Jade has very, very small leaves compared to other pothos, and they're very thin too. They're like not paper thin, but you can definitely tell the difference in thickness between Aunt Pearl and some of the other pothos that I do have, which means that she cannot be anywhere near direct sun. I have her, aside from my Manjula, she is the second furthest away from the window and never facing directly in the sun. And that actually helps. Um, In terms of watering, listen, I'm gonna sound like a broken record when I say this, but 2 to 3 inches, or 1 to 2 inches from the topsoil, you dry, you're getting some water. Again, pothos are very, very forgiving plants. That's why they are great for beginners. So even if you happen to underwater or you happen to be an overwaterer, they're gonna say, you know what, I forgive you. Just don't do that shit again, right? But she is a slow grower. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. She is probably one of my slowest growing pothos, maybe second to the Manjula pothos. Um, and if you check this out, believe it or not, this side is not facing the light. This side is. She has a mind of her own. All right. But again, this is my Pearls and Jade. Um, she's a beauty. Really love this plant. I think this is probably the third pothos that I have. This pothos, you might get this confused with a pothos enjoy, which is more rare than the Pearls and Jade. You will have a hard time finding an enjoy, but the enjoy is looks almost identical to this. The Pearls and Jade just has a little bit more speckling in the leaf, and also a lot more like bright white variegation in the leaf. This one's kind of like creamy-ish and has like green speckles in the cream variegation, but it's still a very beautiful plant. And again, another plant that I'm in love with here in my Pothos collection. So we just got a couple of more to talk about, and I'll let you guys go. But let's get on to the next one. So this plant here, this pothos here, is lemon meringue. I haven't named him yet. I actually just got him about 3 weeks ago. I'm trying to figure out what I want to call him. So if you have any ideas on what I should name this plant, please leave it in the comments below. This plant is very, very similar to the global green pothos. And in fact, this is a patented plant. So the deal with a patented plant is that you can't go ahead and propagate this plant and then mass produce it because it's patented by Costa Farms. So this is a breed that is specially made by Costa Farms, and it's really, really nice. The difference between this and the global green pothos is that the light green variegation on these leaves will be green. They will be a bright green. They will be brighter green than what you would normally see on the global green pothos. Again, this one is, I can't really speak on the fact of how fast this one grows for me personally because again I just got it, but I can tell you what, since I got it, I got these two new leaves. So how about that for vigorous growing? Let's see if it maintains it. I actually have this plant on the windowsill. Reason being is because the more light that you give it, the more you're going to see that sort of contrast in the variegation in the leaf, right? Like I really want to see the bright green next to the dark green. So I'm going to give this as much light as I can. Kind of similar to my Marble Queen pothos because I just want to see how great the variegation is. What I noticed is that this plant follows along the same watering schedule as like my global green pothos and my other pothos. So again, I don't try to keep the soil too dry. I give it a nice soaking when the soil is 2 to 3 inches from the topsoil, when it's 2 to 3 inches dry from the topsoil. And I think that this is just a beautiful plant. When I saw it at Plant Keeper, I knew it was going to be under budget, and I saw that there's about 53 different varieties of pothos. Why do I want all 50? I'm telling you, I need a mansion just to put these plants in. My passion for these babies is just amazing, and I keep using the word amazing. I gotta find another word for that, but it's just it's there, you guys. And when I look at these plants and just the sort of how they fill me with this joy. When I brought this home, I was like, yes, this actually looks good here. Even though it looks quite similar to the global green, I want to see what they do. How they compare, how they differ, and just see if I can get this light green variegation to really pop. But yeah, this is my lemon meringue pothos. This is the newest kid on the block. All right, and help me come up with a name. Put it in the comments. What do you think I should name it? Give me some ideas. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the last plant that I'm going to show you in this video. This is my global green pothos. This is another patented plant from Costa Farms. So you're not going to really find this everywhere, but when I tell you that the variegation on this plant is amazing, I've seen this plant with very, very huge leaves, growing up totems, and the leaves are spectacular. So reminiscent of what and how big monstera plant leaves get. Like they literally get about 12 to 18 inches in length. This global green pothos, I actually have this in a self-watering planter, right? So there's a little, what do they call it? It's like a string. There's a specific word for it. It escapes me now, but it's like a spike that kind of sucks the water up as needed, when the plant needs it. And so I don't have to think too hard about watering this plant. But if you have this plant, again, same rules apply. Try not to let the soil get too dry. The good thing about Pothos is that it is going to tell you when it needs to get watered. Okay, you're going to see some crisping in the leaves. You're going to see some browning or just some browning in the tips. So it'll let you know when it's time, when it's too thirsty. You never really want to get it to that point. But again, if you're an underwaterer, it's going to let you know. If you're an overwaterer, plants will let you know if you're overwatering it. Trust me, they do that for me sometimes as well. But this is a really pretty plant. I think the leaves here are very similar to the the lemon meringue. And but this variegation is a little bit harder to see. Like you really have to look at the leaves to see the difference in the green on the leaf, right? Like like a lighter shade, like a half shade lighter green that's on the leaf here for the global green. But again, this is just a beautiful plant. I got this around the same time that I did the Manjula pothos. My buddy Grofos was able to get this for me, and it's been a welcome addition to my household. Let me say this is another quick grower. Excuse me. It's already trailing. Guess what? I wanted to grow up. Okay, so I'm actually going to get a totem for it, and have it grow up instead of trail because I want those big leaves. And yeah, this is my golden. Sorry, my golden. This is my global green pothos. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. I hope you are really getting something out of it, and exploring my passion of plants with me. Please, again, subscribe, hit the like button, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think about Pothos. Do you have any Pothos? Are you thinking about getting Pothos? Has this video inspired you to get Pothos? What is this doing for you? Let me know. Put it in the comments. And I want to just thank you all for listening. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, you take some time out of your day to hear what I have to say about plants. And at the same time, as I grow, like I said before, I'm only growing in this field, and I appreciate you taking this journey along with me. So to that end, everybody, you all have a wonderful evening or day whenever you decide to watch this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.